You're watching Valley Sports, home of the Rangers, Stars, and University Interscholastic League.
I'm gonna be iconic.
Oh, I can't believe it!
That is a playmaking dude right there.
Iconic. They say I'll never leave a legacy, but one day you're gonna see the best of me. Make no mistake, whatever it takes.
Short of the goal line, the game is over.
To the end. Next round, I'll never be the same again. Wait till you
It's close. It's a touchdown.
gonna be iconic.
Let's go, baby.
I'm made for moments like this.
8th championship.
A 9th state championship.
There are 11 state championship.
Say I'll never leave a legacy, but one day you're gonna see the best of me. Wait till you see.
Mama, we made it.
My legacy, so clear to me. I'm gonna be iconic.
The time has arrived. 12 state UIL football high school championships to kick off over the next 80 hours, beginning with game number 1, the 1A 6-man Division I state championship game between the two-time defending state champion Westbrook Wildcats and the Gordon Longhorns. It's a day for coaches' kids. Parker Matlock, son of the head coach Homer Matlock, leads those two-time defending titleists from Westbrook, and Striker Reed is one of the key members and only a sophomore of that Gordon Longhorn team coached by Mike Reed. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to our coverage of the UIL State Football Championships here on Valley Sports Southwest. I'm Craig Way, joined by the 6-man guru, Granger Huntress, and a little bit of contrast in terms of the fact that Westbrook has won back-to-back state titles. Gordon hadn't been here since '99, but they both have history.
They definitely do. And although these Gordon kids may not have any experience in state championships, many of their fathers do. And so from those 96 and 99 teams.
Well, one thing that is in common for both of these teams is defense. Now, you might not normally think about that with 6-man. You think of whatever the basketball on grass term, but Homer Matlock's teams can play some D.
Yeah, they really do. They really play a patient style of defense, really down in the box and force you to make mistakes. They're very patient.
You see that semifinal win over Happy, 32-16, to lead these Wildcats back to the state championship round. So Westbrook plays defense, but Gordon can as well, and the Gordon Longhorns can outscore opponents as well. So they put it together in a 14-0 start.
Yeah, a little bit more versatility on the Gordon side. You know, you see a lot more passing and rushing, but their defense, this is 2 of the top defenses in the state, and we're going to see an exhibition in defense here.
Granger, you have to be impressed with what they did in their last 2 games against 2 really good teams, Abbott and Jonesboro, in those 2 state finals, and look at what Gordon's done defensively.
Yeah, 8.3 points a game, pretty amazing. And they're a young team. You and I have talked about this. A lot of sophomores and freshmen on that squad.
You look at those teams that are all in the state finals. They're the only 6-man team allowing that, but Gordon can certainly do it with the defense, and they turn you over.
They do. A lot of pressure. They're super fast. A lot of these kids went to the state track meet as freshmen last year, so a lot of speed on that side of the field, and that's really what helps their defense. They can cover you all over the place.
Youth, a big part of this Gordon team. Experience for Westbrook, talent on both sides in this 1A 6-man Division I state championship. It's the first of 3 games today at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. In fact, 3 games today, 3 tomorrow, 3 Friday, and 3 Saturday. 12 state champions to be crowned in 2023. The first one is on deck. Gordon and Westbrook, and the kickoff is coming up right after this.
The UIL Football State Championships are brought to you by Jack in the Box, a proud sponsor of the UIL Championships. By Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas.
We get ready for the start of the UIL 1A 6-man Division I state championship game. Westbrook to take on Gordon. And you take a look at our Ford Impact players. We mentioned the sons of the quarterbacks and they do make a difference.
They do. You know, Parker Matlock, both sides of the ball, tremendous athletes, been here before. Contrast, big senior. Contrast that with the sophomores of the two coaches. These aren't related, just happen to be Riley and Stryker Reed. Stryker is Coach Mike Reed's son. Riley Reed is Shad Reed, the assistant coach's son. Both big-time players on both sides of the ball as well.
And you'll hear the names on both sides of the ball, obviously. With six-man football, players on both sides. We'll also get you updated on the rules. You see that stripe at the bottom of your screen there. That is the sideline there. And there you get a good look at Mike Reed and what a job he's done and was part of that Gordon process and building in the 90s. And so we talk about it, the differences on the rules, 80 yards by 40 yards. That's the most visible evidence, and then 15 yards. But the clean exchange, Granger.
Yeah, it's got to be a handoff, a toss, pitch, catch. It can't be, it can't be a fumble-rooski, basically is what they're saying. It's got to be a clean exchange of the ball. Somebody's got to possess it.
There you see at the line of scrimmage, a field goal is actually worth 4 points, but what you'll see more commonly, run for 1 or kick for 2. And if your team's up by 45 or more at the half or any point in the second half, ball game, mercy rule, and it's over. Not expecting that, however, in this game as we get ready to go. And Bo Payne will kick it off, and the UIL State Championships are underway and fielded there by Braden Walters. And it'll bring, now remember, the yard lines that you're going to see going toward one end of the field are going to be different because it's an 80-yard field. So remember that at the 10-yard line is where you'll see the goal lines. So basically what you're seeing is the 40-yard line right now at the midway point as Gordon gets ready to go on the attack. And you'll see Whit Fuller in the backfield, but you'll see Stryker Reed and Braden Walters started out. Gordon will spread the ball out a little bit, and on the first play from scrimmage, it's a swing pass out to Riley Reed, but the Westbrook defense ready.
Yeah, Gordon starting out in spread, which is, you'll have to have 3 men on the line of scrimmage in 6-man, and just trying to, instead of coming out of tight, because Westbrook is so good up at the front of the line, they're trying to spread it out a little bit and see if they could use their speed.
Every man in 6-man is an eligible receiver. Keep that in mind. Even the guy snapping the football on second down, and there's the clean exchange, flat back, and then taken off, running. Good running room there for Stryker Reed, and Reed will have enough for the first down.
Yeah, he's right there. I was looking to see where they gave him the mark.
25-yard line.
Yeah, but it looks like they gave it to him. Going on, but yeah, no, great run. He's very patient. It's pretty much a designed run. Unless he had a quick pass, caught Westbrook out of position, and that's what they're trying to do with that spread offense.
Just enough to pick up the necessary, remember, 15 yards for a first down in 6-man. 4 downs to get 15. You'll rarely see punting, certainly at the state championship level. On first down and 15. A snap back to Stryker Reed, and here he goes again. Reed with a nice gain, not quite enough for the first down, but a good, healthy first down run.
Yeah, I got 10 yards on that run, and he's being really patient. He left the pocket really quickly, but he saw that Westbrook was fading back to cover the receivers, which they had to do, and so the middle was wide open. And in a 6-man, when the middle's wide open, it's really wide open.
Ball is at the 14-yard line, so it is second down and 4 coming up after the 11-yard pickup on first and 15. At the top of your screen, Braden Walters, the receiver, out wide. And that's Riley Reed behind the quarterback. Whit Fuller, and that's Riley Reed on the carry. A first down and a touchdown for Riley Reed. Remember, crossing the 10-yard line is in essence crossing the goal line. The way these yard lines are marked off on an 80-yard field. And Riley Reed takes it across for the game's first score.
Yeah, really impressive first drive for the Gordon Longhorns there. Yeah, you see Reed takes the pitch, and great block up front. Escapes the tackle, the attempted tackle from Parker Matlock.
They're kicking for 2, and the 2-point kick try is good. You see the 6-man goalpost, a little different. Juan Cabrera hits that one through. So it's an 8-0 lead for Gordon. An opening drive and a touchdown from Riley Reed gets the Longhorns on the board first. Did not take the Gordon Longhorns long to score. 55 seconds into this UIL 1A Division I six-man state championship game. 51 the official time on the drive, and 40 yards in 4 plays. And it was the Reeds, first striker, and then Riley finishing the march.
Yeah, Reed and Reed combo there. This is going to be interesting because Westbrook hasn't traditionally had to come back in any games this year. You know, they've always been out in control of the game. So that's why I think that Gordon, wanted the ball first, try to put some pressure on the Westbrook defense and their offense. Because their offense, they've basically run, we're going to see it, they run out of one set most of the time.
So Gordon will kick off. And there you see Brandon Larson, who's back deep to receive it.
You also notice ball's got to go 15 yards in six-man.
On the kick, just as it is for a first down. Here's the kickoff from Cabrera, and it is absolutely out of the back of the end zone. Time for a look at our community coffee coach's bio, and pretty impressive run by Homer Matlock. Back-to-back state championships, and was also recognized on the field prior to today's game.
Yeah, he was recognized as the UIL and FHS six-man coach of the year. Phenomenal. An alum of the school, has brought him to back-to-back championships, going for the third here.
That's the other thing. We have 2 alums of these programs leading these schools to the state title round. Keegan Gilbreth carries on first down, and Gilbreth driven back, but he's rushed for over 1,400 yards this season. And they do have several different weapons in the backfield. Gilbreth and Grayson Jeffrey, each 1,000+ yard rushers this year.
Yeah, and you're gonna see a lot of tight formation, a lot of running the ball, a lot of patience on offense. Striker Reed in there with the first hit on the tackle.
So now on second down, trying to bounce outside, and it's not there for Gilbreth. Excellent move up on the ball quickly by Caden Crow, the sophomore outside linebacker.
Yeah, he just shot the gap there and made a quick tackle, was in there quick. That's why I said these defenses are good, and it was so shocking in that first drive that Gordon had so much success.
So it's putting Westbrook in a passing situation on third down. And the toss back. I say passing situation, running the football to Gilbreth. It is going to bring up fourth down, however, and another tackle made by Caden Crow.
Yeah, again, you say passing, really not, in their repertoire. They're going to try to run the ball and establish the run, and I think that was the key, is to get it to a 4th and short. You'll see a lot of going for it here in six-man.
All right, so on fourth down, there's the toss back, trying to follow blocks, and a big breakthrough for Keegan Gilbreth. He'll trot into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's the problem in six-man. On a 4th and short like that, everybody's, pounding the box. Everybody's trying to get in there to make the stop, but, it's a gamble. And he got through great blocking up front. And that's just, that's been a staple of Westbrook this season.
Here's a staple of six-man football, by the way, the strap-on kicking shoe. And Bo Payne, who this season has hit 61 extra points, on for the 2-point kick to try to tie it. So each team scoring on its first drive of the ball game. High snap, but Payne's kick is through. You see the double goalpost. It's only the first set that it has to clear, and he does, to tie the score. Another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, you can see he gets a great block, follows his quarterback through, and there was just a huge hole. Great blocking all along on the line there.
You see the back of the jersey of the Wildcats, AOE.
All-out effort, and that's what he gave on that one. So a great run and a great score to answer quickly. And what we said was going to be a low-scoring game, we have 2 scores in 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
How about that? And that was a lengthy drive by comparison, a minute 51 to go 60 yards in 4 plays. Now, don't get us wrong when we say they have great defenses, they do. But these two teams are obviously explosive offensively and are capable of scoring points. And you pointed out on the 4th and short, jamming in the box. You can get past that initial surge, you're going to be hard to tackle.
Right, you gamble. You either make the stop and it's a turnover on downs, or you're potentially giving up a big play, and that's what happened there. The gamble didn't pay off. Now, Westbrook, in six-man, there's another thing. We saw the onside kick by Westbrook. You'll see it almost every time with them.
Here it is, bouncing, takes that second bounce, but picked up by striker Reed, and then Reed with the lateral back behind him tosses it to Riley Reed, and Riley Reed down the sidelines.
He was looking to pitch that ball from the moment he got it. I was a little shocked he didn't fair catch it, because it kind of held up there a bit. You can see on this kick it held up there a bit, and those guys were right there ready to tattoo him. And right there he starts looking. And he pitches it off. See a lot of quick plays like this in six-man, but really heads-up effort.
That was a 39-yard return inside the 10. The slant route for the touchdown goes to Braden Walters. The quick pass, yes, these two teams are capable of throwing the football as well, and Gordon is back in front.
And that's a play you don't see a whole lot in six-man, is the quick slant. But it's available depending on the defense. When it was short yardage, there's usually somebody holding over the middle that's just standing there. So that's great.
Juan Cabrera, the left footer for the two-point conversion kick. And he'll hook it right in there through. In fact, cleared both sets of uprights. Another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, just the quick slant pass there, right out there. Great pass. And, phenomenal execution by Gordon there. It doesn't look good there, but it got the job done. I just want to point out, Craig, both these kickers are pretty good. So it's not always the case in six-man. That's why it's 2 points for a kick.
Yeah, and so the 10 yards. And remember, striker Reed went to Riley Reed, the flip 39 yards down the sideline to get it down to the 10-yard line off the flip off the onside kick.
Yeah, and you'll see Westbrook will gamble and do those onside kicks. They give up some field position at times, but you do recover one or two of those, and that's what you need to change possessions in six-man a lot of times. Gordon tends to kick deep most of the time. They did give up some kickoff returns in the semifinals. They gave up one in the semifinals, I believe. But there's different philosophies about how you treat this.
Here's Asher Salinas to kick it off, and another deep kick, and that'll be a touchback. So Westbrook will start after the touchback.
Yeah, Gordon prefers to kick deep. We'll see how Westbrook answers here.
So Westbrook will come out offensively. And already 3 scores in the game's first 3 minutes and 11 seconds. So from the 20, the toss back, and trying to surge forward is Grayson Jeffrey. Well, Westbrook, you ask, where is it? How about the big country out there in Mitchell County? And just beyond it is you start to move from the big country region out toward the basin, but they won the state championship back-to-back year. Yeah, that's right, 84 total students in the high school, 84. And that's one of the larger enrollments by some comparisons. 3-yard pickup, and it's second down and 12. Once more the toss back. Here goes Gilbreth. Turning the corner again. Gilbreth, and they'll have the first down. Granger, one thing in six-man ball, the better teams have enough speed to get to the edge, and that makes a huge difference.
And you saw it there. Gilbreth able to, with his speed, hit the edge, and then it was a matter of striker Reed having to chase him down there on the sideline.
So once more, the ground game working, and now into Longhorn territory, down at the 39-yard line.
Westbrook very patient, going to take their time here.
That's Parker Matlock taking the snap, the head coach's son. A toss back behind to Grayson Jeffrey, and once more the black jerseys converge pretty quickly, led by Riley Reed.
Yeah, this offense is going to get the big play every once in a while, but they know they're getting 4 yards of play. And if they've got 4 downs to do that, that's a first down. So they're very patient. They know they're going to, bust a play here and there, but they're going to run their offense and just try to run over you.
3-yard pickup. And on 2nd down and 12, again to Jeffrey, trying to follow, blocks and does, and breaks free. Grayson Jeffrey to finish this one for a touchdown for Westbrook.
Yeah, and just some running through some tackles there. Had a chance to bring him down after about a 5 or 6 yard gain, but just didn't make the tackles. Yeah, here you go, quick block, and there he goes. You got Striker Reed on him, and he just kind of shakes him off and goes the distance.
36-yard touchdown run for Grayson Jeffrey. So Gilbreth and Jeffrey, the two big backs we told you about that make a difference. Jeffrey came in just under 1,300 rushing yards. Gilbreth over 1,400, and they have been impactful all season. For the 2-point kick, Bo Payne. And that one's blocked. So that's the difference, like we say. When you're 4 blocking 6 coming in, it's a little bit different trying to get in on that one. So it's still a 2-point lead for the Gordon Longhorns, up 16-14 as we approach the midway mark of the first quarter. Well, already plenty of offense here in the first half of the first quarter of the UIL 1A Division I 6-man state championship. 60 yards in 4 plays for the 2-time defending state champs. And it was Grayson Jeffrey's 36-yard touchdown run that pulled Westbrook to within 2. But Aiden Shank, the sophomore, blocked the 2-point conversion kick. So it's Gordon still up by 2 points at 16-14.
Yeah, bad snap. It looked a little wobbly, like the holder had a little trouble with it to get it down in time. So we've seen that twice now. They've had trouble with their snaps on the extra points.
So Westbrook to kick it off now with a 16-14 lead for Gordon, and it brings up a point that we'll get to in a moment here, Grange. Here's the kick. First of all, this one a little more deeper pop-up kick, and it's going to be fielded inside the 20-yard line by Riley Reed. This time, the Wildcats ready, and they will run him out of bounds right near the 20. All right, so the Gordon Longhorns out from west of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in a football 6-man rich county. Palo Pinto, a couple of state titles for the Longhorns back in the 90s, but you think about the other programs there in Palo Pinto County, strong, obviously, with the great program there. And Gordon now back on top out of the area on first down. Rolling, looking to throw, and then just keeping it himself as Striker Reed does so much freelancing when he has to do it, Granger.
Yeah, it looks like they're covering his receivers downfield, so he's just going to take what they give him. Kind of like Westbrook will take the 4 yards if you let him, and they know they're going to bust a play and just keep moving the ball down the field. Here, Striker doesn't have anybody open. He's like, if I can take 10 yards, I'll take 10 yards. But back to your point about Palo Pinto County, you know, you got the Mingus Bridge between Strawn and Gordon. Big rivalry. One of the best.
No doubt about it. 2nd down and 2. And trying to go forward, and good defensive pursuit by Westbrook. You're right. If you're going over there between Gordon and Strawn, maybe if you're going over to Strawn, you stop at Mary's Cafe for the largest chicken fried steak you could ever put down, and then get ready for some great football. Have you ever eaten the large one?
No.
No.
That's too much.
Yeah. I think the medium's too large.
Yeah, no, it's a great football area. That's a great rivalry to go to. If you're in the Metroplex, get out there sometime and watch that game.
3rd down and a yard needed. And there goes Riley Reed in the first down. You know, Westbrook brought the pressure straight up the middle, but Riley Reed able to slide past it to move the chains.
Really tough to stop a 1-yard gain in 6-man. And you've got to gamble. And you saw they almost had the exchange, had it before the exchange, but
you see Noah Castilla taking the snap there, and now Striker Reed take it off. And here goes Reed. Down the sidelines, and Reed will finish it. Striker Reed, the sophomore, in to add to the Gordon total.
Yeah, great run by Striker. Just, again, watching the defenders fade back. He's going straight up. I think we're going to have to see some adjustments about Westbrook, about the way they're rushing from the sides, from the edges. You see that hole open up right there, and he just kind of has open space and there's one man to beat, you know, and does. He takes Gilbreth.
Now for the left footer, Cabrera's 2-point kick. It is good. So this gets into what I was going to bring up, Granger, and you can expound on this, because the 2-point conversion kick now gives the Longhorns a 10-point lead at 24-14. Then we get into talking about, in six-man, chasing possessions. Right now, if you miss a 2-point kick, or if you don't score on a possession and the other team does, then you're kind of trying to play catch-up. And after that 60-yard drive, and then Stryker Reed, the 38-yard run, quick on the scoring drive. Now, because Gordon has made all 3 of its 2-point kicks, the Longhorns find themselves up 10.
Yeah, it's kind of like I teased you this morning at breakfast. You may see some of this in the Sugar Bowl with Texas and Washington with 2 explosive offenses, right? You know, and you start chasing possessions. You really got to think about this. You know, there's no panic in Westbrook. You know, as we've seen, they're just going to run the ball down the field and make Gordon stop them. And then they get to, you know, it's about timing and getting to that second half, making a stop here and there. Somebody's going to make a stop. Somebody's going to have a turnover. So far, we haven't seen it because we haven't seen a whole lot of passing either.
No, and we've seen Stryker Reed be big for Gordon early. Here's the kickoff by Salinas and another deep kick. So Stryker Reed, by the way, already 78 yards rushing on 4 carries to lead those Gordon Longhorns. So now it's back to Westbrook, needing a score to respond. Gordon took the ball first. And I'm glad you're able to enjoy this contest and all of the UIL State Championship games on your home for Texas high school sports, Valley Sports, and the Valley Sports app. Glad to have you tuned in here. Game number 1 of 12 over the course of the next 80 hours plus. A movement in the line is going to cost Westbrook here, as Bo Payne, the tight end, a little too much there. Steve Hill is our referee. This is an Amarillo chapter of the Texas Association of Sports Officials.
Ball start. Offense, number 44. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We say it every year, and every year it bears repeating. You're seeing the best of these officiating crews, and this 6-man crew, one of the best in the state. So the false start pushes Westbrook back further, but trying to turn the corner is Jeffrey. Unable to do so. Excellent lateral pursuit by Maddox Stewart, a junior free safety, to force him out of bounds.
Yeah, really got in there and didn't let him around the edge and made a great tackle. This is where we're going to see if Westbrook can handle, you know, after the penalty, it's not as easy to get that first down. That 5 yards makes a big difference.
Only 1 yard carry there for Jeffrey, so it's 2nd down and 19 for the Wildcats. Grayson Jeffrey and Keegan Gilbreth both in the backfield now. Jeffrey moves in motion and off the fake. Trouble here in the backfield. And moving upfield on 2nd down there was Aiden Sullivan, the tight end.
Yeah, a little trickeration there from Westbrook, having to get out of their base offense, which is just sweep, 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 you know, or dive, and try to, you know, they knew Gordon was going to be attacking in the middle, and they just tried to get him and almost got away from him. You know, he made some good moves there, but they're going to have to open up the offense a little bit more here.
3rd and 16 from the 19. And to the ground. And quick reaction there by Juan Cabrera. We've seen him on kickoffs, but he's the right side defensive end. That's tackle number 97 of the year for Cabrera as he brings down Gilbreth. Yeah,
great play. You see it again here. Right up the middle, and he gets off his blocker. Blocker didn't stay on him long enough and made the tackle. Now, they may go to spread here, but I still expect them to pass and not. Nope, they're going to.
4th and 11, they'll stay with the tight formation on 4th down and 11. And here it comes, looking to pass downfield and incomplete. A battle there between Riley Reed and Parker Matlock. Downfield, unable to come out. Now the ball goes over on downs to Gordon.
Yeah, the first big stop of the game right there. That's important, especially Westbrook chasing possessions already. Great defensive hold. They just kind of kept their guys. The linemen kept their guys while all that in the backfield was going on, and great defense by Riley Reed.
Yeah, Parker Matlock not happy with the no call, but it was great defensive positioning by Riley Reed. And on first down, quick swing pass outside of Braden Walters, the strong side in.
Yeah. Seen some really good on-target passing from Gordon in these first few plays. I mean, only a couple of passes, but on target.
4-yard pickup at 2nd and 11 from the 20-yard line of Westbrook. To the air this time, back the wide side of Cabrera, taking it down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal as Juan Cabrera off the pass, back the wide side of the field.
Yeah, and so you see Gordon wasn't just sticking with their base offense. They're now going direct snap, so he has to throw the ball. That quarterback can't run, so he's got to make a pass, because we talked about the clean exchange. So Gordon changing up their offense a little bit here.
That's Noah Costia at quarterback, and then banging forward in for the score goes Riley Reed. And Reed takes it over for another Gordon Longhorn touchdown.
Yeah, just great blocking up the middle. You said the quarterback, Noah Castilla, his father, held that position, for the '96 state championship team, Jim Ed Castilla. It's a family tradition here in Gordon.
Now Cabrera looking for the 2-point conversion kick. And the kick from Cabrera is good. And so now, all of a sudden, it's an 18-point advantage for Gordon. Now, you brought up the point, Granger, about Westbrook being much more an offense built from leading from ahead or at the tie. Of the 4 teams here in these UIL 6-man state championship games, including the 2 to follow, and Benjamin and Oglesby in the second game, both of whom are undefeated. The only team with a loss is Westbrook, the 2-time defending state title. They lost their season opener to Knox City and haven't lost since, and in fact have blown out every opponent since then. They really haven't had a close game since then, but then in that opener, Knox City took them out and they got them down early, and Westbrook was unable to get off the mat.
Yeah, Knox City, a quality team. You know how those early season games go, especially in 6-man. You're just getting adjusted to the season, what you're going to run. But yeah, probably ran a lot of base in that game, and got a lot of experience for the younger kids.
So now Westbrook has to respond. Here's the kickoff from Salinas. This one returnable, and from the 10-yard line, upfield, good return for Brandon Larson to get Westbrook in good operating space now, because definitely the Wildcats need a response here, down 18 points.
Yeah, and they can't have a penalty to start this drive off. That's what really set them back and put them behind the 8 ball, for the last drive.
This one will be from the 32 on the 80-yard field. So that's why you see the 40 there when it's actually the 30 on the 80-yard configuration. Matlock handoff, and then the ball pops out, and Matlock able to dive back on it. It was intended for Jeffrey. We talk about, under the rules, the clean exchange for 6-man. That was anything but clean, and Parker Matlock had to dive back on it for a 1-yard loss.
Right, and to clarify on that, had he fumbled it and then just picked it up himself, he could not advance it. So there needed to be a clean exchange. So he just fell on the ball to secure it and maintain possession.
2nd and 16 now from the 31. The toss back to Gilbreth. Again, trying to get the edge there, and some positive yardage back now for Keegan Gilbreth to bring up a 3rd down and manageable situation here for Westbrook.
He got a real good block on the edge there, coming out on that sweep, but I'm not sure if they're going to run a play here. We'll see. They're
out of bounds, and then
it stopped. I didn't even see they stopped the clock.
So now with 23 seconds to go, to bring up 3rd down. 3 yards needed for the first. Again to Gilbreth, and he'll have the 1st down before being forced out of bounds. So Westbrook able to move the chains before striker Reed forced Keegan Gilbreth out of bounds.
Again, Westbrook showing a lot of patience. No panic, experienced team, been here a couple times before, comfortable in this situation.
So on 4th down and 4, it was not enough for the first down, so still 4th down. And there's some movement. March them back on the false start.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So now it's going to become 4th down and 9 for Homer Matlock's team.
Yeah, and again, they're going to have to, I expect they're going to put that man in motion again and try to spread out Gordon a little bit.
4th and 9. And how about Parker Matlock going deep but cannot connect downfield? He was looking for Keegan Gilbreth, had a couple of play fakes, and still had enough time to throw, but too much on the pass. And again, Westbrook with an empty possession.
Yeah, and they tried to catch him a little bit off guard. Didn't put him in motion, tried to sneak him up the middle. But really great coverage by Stryker, stayed on it, and just really not a good throw. Kind of overthrew his receiver.
So now Gordon with an opportunity to get a really firm grip on this. Up 18 already with 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Ball just shy of the Westbrook 38. Under pressure, able to escape it. Costia flings it back across the field, and there goes Stryker Reed once again. He'll be out of bounds on the final play of the first quarter, but it's going to bring up 1st and goal for Gordon. Homer Matlock's team, a 2-time defending state champ, but on the ropes here early. 1 quarter in the books of the UIL 1A 6-man Division I state championship. And it's the Gordon Longhorns who have jumped to a 32-14 lead. We welcome you back to our coverage of the UIL 1A Division I 6-man state football championship. Craig Way, Granger Huntress, and our Valley Sports Southwest crew with you, as it is Gordon, the Longhorns, jumping to the 18-point lead at the end of the first quarter over the 2-time defending state champion Westbrook Wildcats, who've just turned it over again on the possessions. And Mike Reed has this Gordon Longhorn team really on the move now. And of course, Reed was a student and athlete at Gordon in the early 90s before Nelson Campbell got his first state title in 96.
Yeah, he was actually a student teacher, student coach on the 99 team. But yeah, he graduated in 95, obviously really tied to that community. He and his wife, you know, high school sweethearts from there. But, you know, now we're seeing Stryker, you know, had a great reception there. That was a quick pass. A pass there, has 78 yards rushing. Kid's fast. As a freshman, got 2nd in the 300 hurdles and 4th in the 110s. So, you know, Gordon's showing their speed, and it's making the difference right now. You know, Braden Walters set the school record in the 200 meters as a freshman last year. I believe they got 4th in the 4x4 with 4 freshmen.
Wow.
So, you know, this is a the 4x2, and so there's a lot of speed at Gordon, and they're really using it to their advantage, adjusting, you know, running the tight and then spreading out Westbrook.
You mentioned Stryker Reed being a hurdler. I want to see if he hurdles a would-be tackler during this game today.
Yeah, I think his dad, being a hurdler, you kind of know that's your bread and butter. You don't want to get hit doing that. So I don't know if, I think guys who really hurdle know they don't want to get hit doing that. So.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Of course, the UIL is the governing body for extracurricular activities for its member schools, proud to sanction 147 state championships each academic year, which is one-act play, debate, spirit, just some of the championships awarded, in addition to a multitude of sports, including football, mariachi, military marching band, robotics. You know, those are just some of the activities.
Yeah, great stuff. Saw some highlights of mariachi. couple weeks ago. So there's one school that does their mariachi, puts them on the field, right?
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so from the 10-yard line, it's 1st and goal. The toss back. And this is Braden Walters, who talked about his speed. He's able to reach the edge and take it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, just too much on that edge for Gordon and Walters. Just really executing their offense to a T. You know, their passes have been great, other than that first pass where they lost a yard. But you see it, ducked inside, saw that he had the room outside and beat him to the corner.
All right, so 3 for 3 is Juan Cabrera. And make it 4 for 4. And knocks it in, and now that's 5 for 5. So now it's a 40-14 lead. 5 touchdowns, 5 two-point conversion kicks, and a 26-point lead for the Gordon Longhorns. Westbrook, of course, a 2-time defending state champion that we've told you, as you see Gordon with the scoring drive of 38 yards in 2 plays. So now it's on the Wildcats to try to respond. Down 26. Not an easy task for this Wildcat team, but lately they've been really good.
Yeah, look at averaging, upwards of 50 points the last 5 seasons. After missing the playoffs in 19, just in a COVID year, 2020, just exploding and just really solid. Homer Matlock should be really proud of the program he's developed at his alma mater.
And now really being pushed to the test here. And as we mentioned, one of the rules in the 6-man game, if your team is up by 45 or more at halftime or at any point in the second half, the game is over on the mercy rule. So down 26, Westbrook knows it's got to get busy. Surging forward on the return is Brandon Larson.
Yeah, another shortish kick for Gordon to try to invoke a run, and they covered it a lot better on that one.
There's dad and son right there. Like we mentioned, it's not that unusual to see father and son head coach quarterback. I see it every year during these 12 state championship games. What is unusual is to have both head coaches who played at their alma maters, coach their alma maters with their sons at quarterback. That is unusual, and that's what we have in this game. And Keegan Gilbreth only able to get it upfield for a few yards on first down.
And Juan Cabrera right there to plug that hole and not let him get but 4 yards.
4-yard pickup, and it's 2nd down and 11 for the Wildcats. As you mentioned, this is a team not built for throwing the ball a lot.
Right.
They can, but just not a lot.
Right. And I expect Gordon to really play a little bit more conservatively on defense here.
Now to Gilbreth, and he turns it outside. Here goes Keegan Gilbreth in plus territory, and a first down.
Yeah, was able to get the edge. Gordon got caught looking inside a little too much, but then you had the 2 reads in pursuit. Yeah, it looked like he was going to cut it in and swung it out, and just nothing. Didn't have the edge covered out, so he was able to get there and get that yardage for the first down.
At the 34 of Gordon. Now to the air, Matlock with some pressure coming. Still with some time and able to connect downfield as he looks to, that's his center, by the way, Jackson Brown, the junior. That's his 15th catch of the year. As we mentioned, everyone is an eligible receiver at 6-man, including the center.
Yeah, and it was quite a load, and that's a great look. Everybody, he finally finds somebody open. He evades that first tackle and really gets some yardage.
Back to the ground, and with Parker Matlock blocking out front, Keegan Gilbreth turns the corner. So you're not going to see a legal receiver downfield penalties.
No, and I thought you were with the Jackson Brown and the big side. I thought it was going to be the loadout.
Yeah,
you know?
There you go. There was some kind of a loadout there on the catch. Absolutely, good call. 2nd down after the 9-yard pickup. 6 needed for the first. The ball is at the 10-yard line. The toss goes back behind to Jeffrey. He's in a world of trouble, driven back by Caden Crow. Crow, we saw him make a tackle earlier, so that is tackle number 125.
Actually, I thought that was Jack Stallings.
You're right, it is Stallings who came in there. Crow came running up, but it's Stallings, the senior, who makes the tackle, just surging right through the senior. One of only a couple of seniors on this team.
Freshman, sophomore heavy team, but a couple really good seniors who
Now it's 3rd down and 10. And the toss back. Tried to follow the block, did Jeffrey, but it just wasn't enough. They're opening up, and now it's going to bring up 4th down. So how about this Gordon defense adjusting with only 6 yards needed for the first to create a 1st and goal, and they get the big hit by Stallings and another tackle there. Now it's 4th down and 8 for Westbrook.
Yeah, and it actually looks like maybe a 7 yards there.
Yeah.
I again expect him to rush the ball, go inside out. I've been wrong every time, so we'll see what happens here.
Wildcats need the 4-yard line of Gordon to move the chains. On 4th and 7, moving and short of the 1st down is Gilbreth. Wrapped up, excellent play made by Maddox Stewart with Juan Cabrera helping out, and the 3rd consecutive empty possession for the Westbrook Wildcats. Wow, Gordon and its defense on display now, and sporting a 26-point lead in the 6-man Division I title game. It's all working right now for the Gordon Longhorns, leading the 2-time defending state champion Westbrook Wildcats up 40-14. 3rd consecutive defensive stop for that Gordon defense that we talked about that's been so tough, only allowing 8 points plus per game this season.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me that Gordon's made the stops. What surprised me is Westbrook hasn't made any stops on Gordon.
And as a result, that's why there have been 5 touchdowns and 5 2-point conversion kicks and a 40-14 lead for the Longhorns. And on 1st down, outside, big running room, Riley Reed, the sophomore. He'll not be caught. Another touchdown, 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns for Gordon, and Riley Reed, the sophomore, takes it all the way.
And you could see right there the defense was really keying on Stryker. They really thought, because when out of that set, they've been pitching it back to Stryker and faking the pass and running, and they really thought that's where that was going. So the quick hole, the hole was there, it was just massive. You see that? Parker Matlock could not get off his block fast enough. He read the lineman just absolutely wrong, and it was a great play.
2-point conversion kick is good. It's a 74-yard touchdown run for Riley Reed. And now the specter of the mercy rule begins to appear. It's a 34-point lead for Gordon with 7:16 to go in the half. And again, a reminder, if they're up by 45 or more by halftime or any point in the second half, the game is over on the mercy rule. Now, Westbrook could fall behind by more than 45 and get it back under the barrier and keep the game going. But with runs like this from Riley Reed, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, like I said, Gordon putting a display of their speed on right now. Coach Reed was telling me beforehand, these guys go down and work out 5:30 in the morning in Stephenville. They get up to 22 miles an hour, he claims, both the Reeds on the treadmill. So they work on that speed a lot. This is a team. Mike Reed has always believed in track. He's one. As a matter of fact, he has brought a lot of rules forward to the UIL for high school and middle school hurdles and track. Really trying to promote that sport, and understands that that's a key to his success.
Well, that one skipped out of bounds right before. All right, so Gordon has had these scoring drives, and they've had 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns, 6 2-point conversions. Steve Hill, the referee from this Amarillo chapter, will give us the official announcement on the kickoff that went out of bounds. Here's the official word from the lead official.
I think part of the problem is the confusion of actually where you put the ball. And
that's a good point.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball be placed at 30-yard line. First down.
Okay, so it's the 30-yard line, but it looks like the 40-yard line because obviously the 11-man striping's out there. But here's what's happened with Westbrook. That opening drive looked impressive, but they've been turned away on their last 3 possessions. And the Wildcats now really find themselves down, and Homer Matlock's team trying to get it flipped. The son, Parker Matlock, to take the snap from under center. And Parker to throw, swinging it out to Keegan Gilbreth, but that's only good for a yard. That's it. Nothing more than that, and plenty of black jerseys all around, including Striker Reed on the tackle.
yeah, no, it's Westbrook's got to switch things up. But again, when you only get a yard for them, big word this year, I think, when I'm watching football is on program.
That's right.
And they're off program when they have those early penalties and negative plays.
So only a yard there, and it's second down and 14. And this time the ball popped loose, and having to get back on it is Keegan Gilbreth. And this is very unlike Westbrook to have plays like this, and we've seen it a couple of times already.
Yeah, it's the nerves and rushing. When you haven't been down by 34 before in a game, I don't care if you're 2-time defending state champs, you start to rush a little bit.
So now it's back to square one and third down and 15. And looking to throw this time downfield and open to make the catch. Down the sidelines, inside the 20-yard line, Grayson Jeffrey. Here's a classic example, Granger, of the clean exchange. Matlock to Gilbreth to Jeffrey.
Yeah. Pitch back, and then the great throw. Caught Striker Reed cheating a little bit, but he was able to catch him and corral him to get it to save a touchdown.
So it gives Westbrook a burst of energy and a chance to try to get it downfield. Of course, last time turned away inside the 10. To the ground to Grayson Jeffrey, trying to get the corner, and he can throw it back downfield and picked. Here goes Riley Reed. What a first half of this sophomore. Pick 6 for Gordon.
Again, no need to throw that ball, take the loss, and he just kind of panicked and threw it up. And the speed, he stepped in front of the receiver and took it the distance. See that he's run out the right. He stopped, and then all of a sudden he thinks, oh, I got to throw it. The guy, he had 2 receivers there, just didn't get enough on the ball because he's going the wrong direction.
And how about the first half of the sophomore Riley Reed on both sides of the football? Running, receiving, and now the pick 6. The 2-point kick is good, and now it's a real factor now for Westbrook because they're down by 42 points, just 3 shy of that 45-point barrier with just over half of this second quarter to go.
This is shocking. It really is. Like I said, I'm not surprised that Westbrook's offense is getting stopped. I'm just surprised that Gordon is just taking over like this. And we've seen the difference that speed makes. You and I talked about it too. Like in the 6A game coming up Saturday, we've got teams like Duncanville and Summer Creek, 2 traditional track teams. You know, they've got some phenomenal speed. North Shore.
Yeah, Duncanville, North Shore, and Summer Creek, DeSoto.
DeSoto. I mean, all of those coaches believe in track, and you know they've got speedsters, they got all-around athletes, and you see it at every level. You see the Tyreek Hills, the Mozarts, the Dolphins, their whole team's built around it. But you know, you see it at the high school level here a lot.
So now Gordon, you could see Riley Reed breathing a little bit, trying to catch his breath. This one's going to be a touchback on the kickoff because he's been playing the first half on both sides. Now, it is not commonplace, but not unheard of for a player to win both the offensive and defensive MVP in the state championship. In fact, one of the recent ones to do it is Jordan Whittington from Cuero, of course, has been a Texas Longhorn in the past few years to win both the offensive and defensive MVP. Not saying that that's going to happen for Riley Reed, but the way this first half is going, he looks pretty valuable on both sides of the ball. Back to the ground. Grayson Jeffrey, and dragged down by Juan Cabrera. Also in on that tackle, Whit Fuller, the senior. As we mentioned, not many seniors on this Gordon team, and that is something to take note of going forward for Mike Reed's ball club.
Yeah, this is definitely a team of the future in six-man. They just don't have an answer for Cabrera there, and on the line. He's just taking up a lot of space and able to get it, just shake his blocks off and get in on everything and slow down that rushing attack.
So now on second down and 11. This time to Brandon Larson, able to gain some positive yardage and then wrapped up. Among those there, Braden Walters and Caden Crow for Gordon. And now it's third down.
I think some of the guys on Gordon are all right with this. They're, taking a breather. They're trying to catch their breath. They've been running up and down that field. And if Westbrook's just going to take it easy and run their patient, T-sweeps and stuff like that, then they're fine with it.
So now third down and 4. That goes back to Larson. Able to gain the corner and move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, great run. Got enough of the edge to be able to get that first down. Gordon, he looked like he was coming inside, and so Gordon cheated inside, and then they were able to beat him around the edge for just a little bit. But yeah, no, nice run. Like I said, move the chains.
Absolutely, out to the 38-yard line. You see the forward line there. That's a 40-yard width on the field, as opposed to the 53 plus in the 11-man game, and the 80 yards in length. Setting up the screen. Outside, Jeffrey. A good first down catch and run, but again, quick recovery by Gordon. Maddox Stewart and Braden Walters on the tackle.
And Gordon's switching up their defensive looks a little bit. It looks a lot of the same, because they all kind of crowd the line, but you can see that they're switching off who's on the edges and who's coming to the line.
At the 35 of Gordon. 7-yard pickup on first down, and now Bo Payne will be called again for the false start. Just moved ever so slightly.
False start. Offense.
I always
number
find it
44.
funny that
5-yard penalty.
the call's delayed until everybody starts pointing at.
Pointing, and then it's like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess we got to call that.
And it was the correct call, but you're right. If the flag did not get thrown until after you saw the Longhorns all pointing at Payne, the tight end. Now becomes second down and a long 12, and then break it outside is Larson. Larson to take it down the sidelines for a badly needed Westbrook Wildcat touchdown.
Gordon was caught off guard. They were not ready when the ball was snapped. They were back 5 yards. They weren't paying attention. They'd also made some substitutions. You can see just real quick got on the edge and made it. So I didn't see Striker Reed in there on defense. They had subbed some guys in to give them a breather. But yeah, great run and play by Westbrook.
Payne for the 2-point conversion kick. And that one's going to veer to the left. So no good on that. So it's a 36-point lead for Gordon. But Westbrook trying to climb its way back into this football game on the sturdy legs of Brandon Larson. We invite you to join the conversation. Pick up the latest highlights from the UIL State Championships. Follow us on social media to stay connected, whether you're on X or Facebook, Insta, where you can follow Granger Hunters, right?
Yeah, you're so hip with the Insta. We're a couple of hip guys here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Craig, one of the crazy things, I was just looking at the stats. you know, Westbrook has 32 plays for 290 yards, and they're leading Gordon, who's only run 15 plays for 246 yards.
Wow. And yet it's a 36-point lead for the Longhorns.
Exactly. So those explosive plays really paying off for Gordon, and the pick six, and having the short field
makes a big difference. And still, with over 3 minutes remaining in the half, still plenty of time for both these teams to score again before the first half is done. Here's the kickoff, and that little onside squibber goes out of bounds.
Yeah, striker Reed looked like he was going to make a play on that ball and decided, this thing's going out pretty quick. Let's let it go.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. That's a 5-yard penalty. Spot of the foul. First down.
Gordon goes on the offense now, up 36. So basically, if you're looking at it in terms from the Gordon perspective, they're 2 scoring possessions and 1 stop away from ending this thing. And Westbrook knows they need a stop on defense, which they haven't been able to get today. And the deep pass right there for the catch from Castilla's pass is Braden Walters. 1 play for the score.
I think they just decided that we're going to, you know, Westbrook's thinking they're running the clock out, going to use some time. Why not just quick strike, go for it, catch him off guard, and an excellent pass. It was a great play. Look at him get back, just right on target, in stride, no question.
43-yard touchdown, 2-point kick, good, and now Gordon stands but 1 point away from ending this by halftime if they do not give up another score and pick up 1 more point. There's another look at Castilla's throw.
Just right in stride. Beautiful pass.
And you mentioned, Granger, his dad, Jim Ed, of course, a quarterback on that Gordon State Championship team in 1996 that won their first ever. This young man is just a sophomore. Whit Fuller, who's been taking snaps, also is a senior, so it looks like Noah will step into that role going forward, and the big shot of 43 yards in the score.
Yeah, great. Just having the variety on offense that they have with the speed that they have is really a deadly combination, and has really showed the difference in this. Has been the difference in this game. You know, talking to Mike Reed earlier in the week, he said the reason Westbrook runs one set is just they're better than everybody. They can do that. And so it's been interesting to see them forced into, you know, having to do this. And he was hoping this was what would happen, but by no means.
There it is, picked up by Larson. Gonna move it outside and now back inside. Nice return by Brandon Larson. So basically Westbrook is looking at must score the rest of the way. Now Larson, a little slow, but is helped to his feet. Certainly Westbrook cannot give up any more points before the half is done, or the ball game will be over if they don't score. But they'd like to get some sort of momentum. They're going to get the football to start the second half if there's a second half.
Yeah. So at this point, I just run my base offense. I really do what I'm best at, call my best plays, and try to get a score and get back in this game.
Get it to the locker room with the barrier a little less. To the ground. And the base play doesn't work there for Grayson Jeffrey, forced out of bounds again. Juan Cabrera and Riley Reed having a whale of a first half.
Yeah, Riley Reed forcing him to the barrier. You could see the Homer Matlock telling him, just take it up and get the yardage. Take a couple of yards. That's, you know, stick to what they know and do, and they've got plenty of time to score. But if they can score and not give Gordon a chance to get the ball back, they're in a good spot.
Gordon has had 7 possessions plus the pick 6. So 8 total scores with 8 2-point conversion kicks downfield. And that is caught. Big catch made by Keegan Gilbreth.
Yeah, Caden Crow with great coverage on that play. If it was it Caden Crow?
I think it's Stallings on the coverage
Stallings?
there.
Yeah. No, it's Caden Crow.
Yeah, there's Crow.
Yeah.
And then he goes for it and unable to get him, and then finally able to bring him down after that. So,
yeah, great coverage and great catch. Great pass and catch.
So down to the 20, and you see the time rolling on the clock. Each team with all 3 of its timeouts remaining here in the half. And Westbrook's going to take its time and try to run as much clock, try to get it into the end zone and not give up a score before the half is done. Stay in this football game. It's about keeping the game alive at this point. And this time is Payne, and not fooled one bit is Whit Fuller. Drags him down for a loss.
Yeah, trying to get everybody going wide and then give it to the big man and see what he could do, but that's just not there.
Granger, if you're Mike Reed and you get a stop on second down, do you use a timeout?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you start using your timeouts here if you do get the stop.
We'll see what happens on second down after the loss of 3, and you see the time remaining in the half. Westbrook would love to get it into the end zone with as little time as possible left on the clock. To the ground. And again, not much in the way of the carry there for Jeffrey. But the clock continues to run, and Gordon may be content to let this thing get to the locker room at the half and just try to get a stop and be just 1 point away from ending this football game.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks like they're just trying to ramp up the pressure on Westbrook here to use their timeouts, and he's going to call one here. He's got to.
Well, they under 10, so they're going to have to hurry if they're going to get the playoff here. This should be the final play of the half on third down, and then there's movement. As the clock was rolling to 0, movement on the line. Let's see if the infraction was called before the clock hit 0. And that's what I think this conversation is about, Steve Hill, with his crew. Was there still time on the clock? I think there was when the false start occurred.
False start. Offense, number 44. That play comes with a 10-second runoff. Westbrook will take a timeout to avoid the runoff. They're first of the half.
And so we'll see. It's not really an untimed down per se, but for all intents and purposes, it's 1 second or 2 seconds, whatever it might be. They will get 1 snap of the football here. The clock did roll to 0. Steve Hill did not indicate how much time there was to be on the clock, but again, for all intents and purposes, we're talking about 1 play.
Yeah, some interesting clock management there. You know, with it being third down, you'd think you'd want to try to get 2 plays, and just kind of shocked with how it went there.
So there'll be a snap to come, and I believe that they're going to put 2 seconds back on the clock. So as we mentioned, 1 snap. So Westbrook will try to see if he can get 1 more score to draw a little bit closer before the half is done. Matlock on the toss back behind, trying to turn the corner and out of bounds is Grayson Jeffrey. That's going to do it for the first half. The Gordon Longhorns stand 1 point away from ending this UIL 1A Division I state championship. Westbrook will get the football to start the second half and a chance to draw a little bit closer to try to keep the game going. But that 45-point mercy rule is right on the cusp. So Gordon undefeated and looking every bit the part of what this team, Westbrook, the defending state champions, have been. But it's the Longhorns who have the 64-20 halftime lead in the UIL Division I 6-man state championship.
Coaching in high school is probably the greatest job on earth.
That outside of the word mom, being called coach it's awesome.
Being called coach is right under being called dad.
We've always worn a lot of hats.
You have a chance to impact so many young people in this world.
And I just want to be that safe place for one kid. We want to be that role model, and we want the kiddos to be able to stand on their own 2 feet when they walk away.
A lot of kids don't remember the scores of games, but they remember the impact that you had on their lives.
There's a lot of coaches here who love what we do, and we want to learn.
We need to have support. We need to have backup. The THSCA has done that tenfold.
Putting every sport, every athlete, every coach at the forefront of their mission.
With the main goal of helping coaches guide these young men and young women to the next phase of their life.
My job is to coach kids, and they're here to help coaches coach kids.
The motto is helping coaches help kids. That's THSCA. That's what it is. That's what it does.
Coach is always a big part of what happens, even under the big top of AT&T Stadium in Arlington. We welcome you back to our coverage of the UIL Texas High School Football State Championship games, beginning, of course, this morning with 1A Division I this afternoon. Granger, 1A Division II, a defending state champion Benjamin taking on Oglesby.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see the Tigers, their first state championship appearance, how they perform.
We know how Benjamin performs. They went all the way to the state title a year ago, undefeated this year, and of course, they're led by their all-everything man, Grayson Rigdon.
Yeah, Grayson Rigdon, 2-time state championship MVP already, and he's just a junior. Just a phenomenal player. You look at how he just runs. He's so casual. He's just better. He's better than everybody else, and he knows it. And his efficiency on the field is amazing.
He leads the Mustangs in rushing, passing, and receiving. Talk about one guy who can do a little bit of everything for Nathan Hayes Ball Club, and that is Grayson Rigdon. Now, that's the one side of it as far as Benjamin goes. You mentioned it's a first-timer in Oglesby, but we get a chance to see a dynamic talent in Kyler Fawcett.
Yeah, we're going to see here him returning a couple of touchdowns against Richland Springs, really turned the tide in that game. Speedy down the sidelines. We're going to see a lot of sweeps with these guys, really fast with Fawcett.
You see a lot of speed on both sides being a key in this game today?
Yeah, with the Hayeses and Rigdon on the Benjamin side, and then Fawcett and Aviles on the Oglesby side. Lots of speed out there today. This will be a lot quicker game than we see in the first one.
So that's your 1A Division II six-man state championship matchup. It'll be the Benjamin Mustangs and the Oglesby Tigers coming up following the conclusion of this first contest between Gordon and Westbrook. Of course, those are the two six-man games. The 11-man action starts tonight. We take a look at Toller against Timpson, what's behind the scenes with Toller's Snake Farm, what that's all about when we continue in a moment. The 2A Division I state championship game is tonight. Top-ranked Timpson taking on Toller in a matchup of two teams making their first ever appearances in the UIL state championship game. Now, the Toller Rattlers call themselves Snake Farm. Of course, they're the Rattlers, but the whole thing about Snake Farm, well, after every win, they sing their own personalized rendition of the Ray Wiley Hubbard song, explaining what it means to be a part of the Snake Farm.
We've got plenty of rattlesnakes, and unfortunately, we stay away from them. They stay away from us. It's all good.
My first year, I was scared every day. We'd get out of my vehicle that I was going to see one daily, but luckily, I've only seen a couple.
We are known as the Snake Farm.
Obviously, Toller is a rural school, and so we enjoy our red dirt music. You know, Ray Wiley Hubbard's old Snake Farm song. We kind of adopted it.
Winning's not easy, and we wanted it to be, you know, we want to celebrate every time we win. And we talk about competing every day. And so about 3 years ago, we started, when we won a game, we're going to go to the locker room. We're going to get excited to play Snake Farm.
It's a fun name. I think, you know, being a Rattlers, there's the people, we have a lot of fun with it, and it's a fun mascot.
You know, it gives us a brand, right? You know, it's who Toller is. You've heard of Snake Farm probably if you're in our area, and that's, we're in a rural area. You know, there's a lot of farmers around Toller, and so we talk about protecting the farm, you know, and being part of the snake farm. It's a special thing.
It originated maybe my freshman or 8th grade year. So there's a song by Ray Wiley Hubbard called Snake Farm, and it is a weird song, weird country song. And during two-a-days, we played the song, and it just got rolling.
They wear it on their pants. It's a big deal. Hopefully we get to hear it again tonight.
I didn't know it would take off kind of how it has. It's kind of taken a life of its own. You know, wasn't really meant for the public. It's become a bit of a spectacle at times, but it's fun for those kids, and we've been fortunate to get to play it a whole lot.
I mean, it's just been a tradition ever since the Snake Farm were the Toller Rattlers, and now that's what we call ourselves, the Snake Farm. And Ray Wiley Hubbard even gave us a shout out, so maybe we'll give us another shout out that we're going to state championship.
I mean, they have a lot of fun with it, so it's a good time. We know when that song's playing, it's good times in Toller, Texas.
We're state bound. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Snake Farm on display tonight against top-ranked Timpson and the amazing Terry Bussey. We'll find out more about Mr. Bussey coming up at halftime of our second game of the 1A D2 defending state championship. Halftime highlights, stats, and more coming up. First half of the first game of the 12 UIL State Football Championships in the books, and quite a stunner at halftime. Gordon leading the two-time defending state champions from Westbrook 64-20, and Riley Reed is a major reason why.
Yeah, they just haven't had an answer for his speed. You see right there, busting through the line, and he went 74 yards for that touchdown. Had the pick six. Hayward coming up here and takes it the distance on that one. So just a lot of great play from Riley Reed, showing his speed.
And he's just the sophomore. Remember, Striker Reed, we talked about the start, and he's played well. In fact, just about everybody from Gordon has played really well. When you look at these first half numbers, they might stun you as much as the score, because if you were just to look at the numbers, you could scarcely guess that Westbrook trails by 44 points.
Yeah, time of possession is the big one right there. 15:54, and I believe we said 37 plays, whereas time of possession only 4:06 for Gordon, and they've only run 16 plays, 17 plays, something like that. So just incredible.
But one of the telling numbers there, 2 out of 7 on third downs, and that's been difficult for Westbrook. 322 yards of offense, but the pick six was big, and they've been stopped on 4 other occasions trying to drive it down the field. So now Westbrook will get the football to start the second half, Granger, knowing they're up against it. They have to keep it inside the 45-point barrier.
They do, and what the additional pressure is, since it's a 44-point lead, they need the extra point.
Yeah.
Because Gordon has been perfect so far on this. So they have to score the touchdown. They need to make the 2 points.
And then get stops. Gordon knows they need 1 stop and 1 point, and they can win their 3rd state football championship. Second half of the 1A Division I 6-man state championship coming up. It's all a part of the state championship. Yeah, the Santa hats for the cheerleaders and dance teams. Some of those have been around a while, make it to the games, the banners, relatives, friends, family. It's all a part of the fabric, and what makes this UIL State Championship Week so really special is that you have schools with very small enrollments all the way up to, well, more than 6,000 in some cases. But we get ready for this second half. Gordon will kick off, and Westbrook knows it needs points and stops, starting with points as the Longhorns will kick off. And it's an onside kick to begin the second half, but the flag goes down. The kick fielded and breaking outside is Grayson Jeffrey. The flag may have been for offsides on the onside, or did you think maybe it was against Westbrook?
I think both teams are offsides. Are moved at the wrong time. It seemed like, I mean, that guy's missing a hat.
That's throwing a hat for something.
There's several flags on the field. Why don't we just redo this?
Yeah, it may wind up being that way. So, so how about Mike Reed with his team needing only a point, looking for a possession and a score to end it? Here's the
fouls
call.
on both teams. Offsides. number 22 of the kicking team. Personal foul, face mask, number 24. Those fouls will offset, replay the down.
I think the offside was on the receiving team.
It was, yeah.
And then they'll re-kick it because of the offsetting penalties. There's the movement upfield for the offside call. And then you're going to see the face mask come right. Well, they called it a face mask, unless there's one here coming up on the end of the play. In any event, it's going to be a re-kick.
Yeah, I expect them to kick it deep this time, but.
So now the kick to come from Salinas. And sure enough, line drive kick. And fielded to bring it upfield by Connor Holt. Holt gets it going upfield. And that late hit is going to bring on an extra 15 on the flag.
Yeah. A little late jumping on the pile there. And I think he knew it when he got up.
So they'll sort through this. And tack on 15 yards, as you'll hear explained by Steve Hill. As
after the play, personal foul, late hit, number 20 of the kicking team. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Jack Stallings whistled for the late hit, and so now 15 yards tacked on and an opportunity for Westbrook to try to get something going here with good field position.
And they huddled up 20 yards away from the ball.
To the 39-yard line. So right at midfield, the Wildcats go to work. And Parker Matlock to go to the air. But that's only going to be good for 2 yards on the pass to Grayson Jeffrey. Wrapped up quickly by Braden Walters.
Yeah, just some great defense there by Gordon. Had the penetration, forced Matlock to make the throw quickly underneath, but they had everything covered.
2-yard pickup, and it is second down and 13. Remember, 15 yards needed for the first down and 6-man ball. The toss goes back to Jeffrey, trying to fight his way upfield. The black jerseys were all around him. Cabrera gets off the bottom of that pile. Another minimal gain, and now it brings up third down for the Wildcats.
You can see that Gordon is just kind of playing a base defense, trying to keep him in front of them, and Striker Reed was staying back just in case somebody broke away to clean anything up that needed to be done.
Third down and 11 now for the Wildcats. Ball is at the 37-yard line of Gordon. Toss back and looking to throw. Jeffrey downfield and intercepted by guess who? Riley Reed, and now called incomplete. Unable to hold it as they hit the turf, but it does bring up fourth down.
Yeah, that could have been it right there. But still, fourth down and long. It was a 4th and 9 and fourth and 11. So it's we got to see what's going to happen here. I expect some sort of pass play.
Reed had it in his hands there, but when he hit the turf is when it popped out.
Yep.
So now, fourth down and 11, and flags are going to stop play, or maybe a timeout was called ahead of it.
Timeout, Gordon.
Yeah.
They're first of the half.
I think Coach Reed saw that's the first play we've seen Westbrook run out of the spread, I believe. I don't recall them running out of the spread all game, and they do it on fourth downs quite a bit, and just want to make sure everybody's playing the right position.
All right, so it's a 64-20 lead for Gordon. They call the timeout. Mike Reed visiting with his team, up by 44 points. And looking to make a fourth down stop. If they do, turn it back over to the offense, and then the Longhorns score, it would end the game. But Homer Matlock trying to get his team to convert this fourth down coming up to keep this game moving.
Yeah. Obviously, biggest play of the game for Westbrook right now to stay in the game, to even have a chance. They've got to convert this 4th and 11.
So the ball at the 37-yard line. of Gordon. And for the Wildcats, they need the 26-yard line of the Longhorns to move the chains. Gilbreth and Jeffrey behind the quarterback, Parker Matlock. And it's going to go to Jeffrey to throw it back downfield with a catch. Big movement after the catch by the center, Jackson Brown. That's his second big catch. So Brown, another big catch, once again proving that Westbrook, not yet anyway, is not running on empty.
Yeah, faked the run to the right and threw back to the left. Gordon was playing their two speedsters back deep in a kind of a safety position. So trying not to give up the big play, but great call by Westbrook.
At the 13. The toss back to Jeffrey. Trying to surge forward for a few. And again, the 45-point rule is just hanging over this game right now. Westbrook needs a touchdown, and as you pointed out, Granger, they need a two-pointer as well to try to drive the deficit down, as you see Grayson Jeffrey driving forward. Because if Westbrook scores but is unable to get the two-pointer, then Gordon can come back, score a touchdown, and win it with the two-point kick because they'd be up 46. So it is second down now and goal. First things first to try to get in the end zone. The toss back to Gilbreth. And trying to fight his way forward, and again, standing tall, the opposite number 10, Caden Crow, with the tackle of Keegan Gilbreth.
Yeah, that was great job by Gilbreth to hold on to the ball, because Juan Cabrera had his hand in there and was trying to pry that ball away on the initial tackle. You'll see this when he gets in there. Cabrera reaches that hand out and has his arm on the ball, and you could see it move just a little bit. But you know, great work by Crow to clean it up and finish it off.
Third down and goal now. And about 7 needed for the score. The toss back, moving forward, but only able to pick up about 3 is Jeffrey. And here you go on 4th down and goal for Westbrook.
Yep, again, another 4th down. Great ankle tackle grab there as we go through the hole. We'll see. Who was it there? Yeah, it was Crow who got him by got his foot. Great penetration.
All right, 4th down and goal. The ball is at the 40-yard line. And so Westbrook really in need of the score here. On 4th down. Outside, following a block, and then flip that one forward. That's incomplete, called, and that'll do it. I think it would have been an illegal forward pass anyway, because it looked like Jeffrey had crossed the line of scrimmage, and I think that's why we're seeing the flag there. He could make that pass if he was behind the line as he was being spun around and just flipped it forward, but he was going down, and I think it's going to be called for an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, it looks like it is. He's coming around here. You see him. He's to the 5. He's to the 4. He's right at the line of scrimmage, it seems like. And just kind of threw that forward. Let's see what the call is.
It looks like he's at the 3 when he released it. Steve Hill with it. Of course, Gordon would decline it if that's the case anyway because of the incomplete pass. I'm going to go over to the Longhorns. Here's the call.
Illegal forward pass on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Lost it down from the spot. First down.
Yep, the loss of down, so no need to decline it. So the ball goes over to Gordon. And so the Longhorns a little inside 80 yards from claiming that trophy. The Gordon Longhorns are 72 yards away from winning the state championship. They're up by 44 points here with a little over half of this third quarter to go at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Craig Way and Granger Hunter's with you. Of course, that 45-point rule is the reason why if you're up by 45 or more at any point in the second half, the game is over. And right now, Here are the Longhorns up by 44, needing one score. Could be a touchdown, could be a field goal. And as we mentioned in six-man, field goals are worth 4 points. And Juan Cabrera has a good leg, but I'm sure that Mike Reed is thinking about a touchdown to end this thing.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I really didn't mention the irony of a Gordon state championship game and a illegal forward pass, and that there's actually a loss of down penalty. I know my Gordon friends will get me on this, but
it's worth mentioning, and we'll get to it in a moment here for folks who don't know the story. Meanwhile, Whit Fuller to take it from under center. Now the toss back, and here's the downfield pass, and there's Riley Reed, and a big hit. So going back to 1996, Gordon vying for its first state title, taking on Whit Harrell.
Yeah, with playing Whit Harrell, and there was an illegal forward pass that was called, and there was no loss of down. Now, Gordon will argue there was pass interference on the play, but
that wasn't called.
That wasn't called.
All right, so the ball at the 33-yard line, it goes back. And the pass across the field. And here's Evan Jackson in at center. His first catch. A sophomore takes it downfield. So Jackson with the big catch. So in other words, Gordon ended up winning the game. I think 51-50, wasn't it? It was a great game.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game in Sweetwater at the Mustang Bowl.
Their first ever six-man state title. That was back in '96. There was an illegal forward pass called against Gordon, but they weren't penalized the loss of down. So in essence, got a fifth down in that game, and they ended up cashing in to win. Now downfield, Fuller cannot connect as he was looking for Braden Walters.
I think they're opening up the playbook here, letting some other guys get in on the action, but a little too much arm there for Fuller. Get the was that the were they trying to get a senior? Let's see if we can get some senior to senior action.
Yeah, with Fuller going, he was going for the sophomore Walters there, couldn't connect. Now back in on second down and 15. The ball's at the 32-yard line of Westbrook. Again, any score of any kind for Gordon ends this game now. And the ball's loose on the turf and recovered by Westbrook. Castilla was hit, and the ball came out and recovered. Big break there for the Wildcats as Ethan King gets on the football.
Yeah, big surge. That's happened a couple of times where Westbrook's made a really good surge into the gap and just left him wide open to get to the quarterback. They almost had that in the first half one time.
It's Parker Matlock who hits Castilla, and it is recovered there, and a nice job on the recovery by Ethan King. So Westbrook, again, with some new life here, try to get it downfield. The ball at the 37. Tossing it back, and there's Jeffrey. Downfield to the tight end, Bo Payne. Payne, good movement afterwards. Takes it downfield. Excellent first down catch and run, and Juan Cabrera on him.
Yeah, the two big boys in the game tackling each other there. Great coverage by Cabrera again to snuff that out and get him down. But yeah, no, just Westbrook kind of changing things up, doing some things we haven't seen, trying to mix up their offense, throw the ball a little bit more.
10-yard pickup there. Now second down and 5, and that ball is loose and recovered by the Longhorns. On the ball as it came loose was Whit Fuller.
Yeah, the senior there made a great play. I think he was confused and thought maybe it was a pass of some sort, but it was a quick handoff and then a pitch to try to, just throw them off a little bit. And he was not fooled. Fuller was not fooled. See the quick handoff and the pitch, and he got his hand on it and then just jumped on it. Great defensive effort.
So now, again, Gordon knows a score of any kind can end this football game. Up by 44. The rule is 45. The ball is at the 39-yard line, so about half the field to navigate. And Gordon's going to call it second timeout of this third quarter here to discuss things.
Yeah, they were running out of time. It was a little slow getting in there. They've got Castilla in there. They're trying to give him some snaps, especially since Fuller's been playing a lot of defense.
Now, Granger, I would venture to guess you've been surprised to see how this game has unfolded and developed. And then, of course, we have the second game coming up, scheduled for the 2 o'clock kickoff between Benjamin and Oglesby. And you have a first-time state champion Benjamin last year, but just so dominant against an Oglesby team that, to be quite honest, a lot of people didn't know that much about, coming out of the Super Centex region just west of Waco and just stunning people to get to their first ever state final.
Yeah, Oglesby has a history of great teams, but that's over 50 years ago. You know, they were a great program, you know in the 60s and 70s. Really struggled over the years, but have some good teams and bad teams. I remember being in Oglesby when they played Star, and I was coming up for OU weekend, and I stopped at that game, and they were the 2 lowest ranked teams in the state. You know, that's when Star still had a football team.
Yeah. So that's coming up at 2, and then of course the first of the 11-man games tonight. Top-ranked Timpson against Toller in the 2A Division I state championship. All right, out of the timeout, Castilla to the air, catch made, and a short gain to Walters. And I'm sure Gordon feels like they could just navigate it, take their time, try to get it downfield and get the one score.
Yeah, and it's obvious Westbrook is trying to pressure Castilla as much as possible. They get a quarterback who's not as experienced in there, just put some pressure on him, make him make a quick decision.
The sophomore Castilla, the throw again across the middle, there it is. And only the turf monster kept Riley Reed from ending the state championship game.
Yeah, great effort to catch that ball. Kind of smiling there, a little bit overthrew him, but he ran under and made the catch. Great play. Turf monster held onto the ball, looked like he was gonna hit the ground with it.
So now, Gordon on the doorstep. The ball at the 16-yard line. This time, it's Striker Reed. Striker Reed will end the state championship game for the Gordon Longhorns, who claim the school's 3rd state title in program history.
Wow, what a great play. That was back to their old, snap it back there, let him make the decision. Westbrook was being aggressive, and so he just took what was given to him and found the end zone. There's his proud dad.
So the head coach sees his son score the walk-off touchdown to end this 1A Division I state championship game.
And I believe the cheerleader on her phone was Coach Reed's daughter. I didn't get a good look, but I believe it was.
Well, a celebration is underway, and they will present the state championship trophy as well as the offensive and defensive MVPs for this game. And what a tremendous day for the Gordon Longhorns. The school's 3rd ever state football championship. Gordon claims the 1A Division I 6-man state crown with a 70-20 win over Westbrook. The first of the 12 state championship games is in the books, and the 3rd ever state title for the Gordon Longhorns, who can strike the pose now as 1A Division I 6-man state champions, as we welcome you back to our coverage of the UIL State High School Football Championship games. Craig Wayne Granger Huntress with you. And there you see the head coaches, Mike Reed of Gordon, Homer Matlock of Westbrook. The medals being draped right now for both the runners-up and the champions. Then we're going to see the MVP, offensive and defensive MVPs announced and awarded, and then the state runner-up trophy and that of the state championship. Westbrook relinquishes the crown after 2 years. What a great run that Homer Matlock has had with this program.
Yeah, I should be really proud. This is phenomenal. 3 state championship appearances with 2 titles at your alma mater with your son playing. It's fantastic.
And then the celebration's going to begin for Gordon, who won their first state championship we talked about back in 1996, won their second one in 1999, and then it's been a 24-year drought between titles. But now, as you, I think, so astutely pointed out, Granger, several of the kids on this Longhorns team, current members, are the offspring of those who played in 96 and or 99 on those Gordon State Championship teams.
Yeah, I mean, you've got names like Castilla, Reed. Well, Reed wasn't on it, and Seymour. There are quite a few. I remember it was Coach Reed told me that there's even Eric James' mom was a cheerleader for those teams. So you know, it's moms and dads that, you know, still hanging around Gordon, and their kids are getting to high school age, and you know, wouldn't shock me to see them, you know, for the next couple of years here. A lot of youth on that team.
A very, very young team that whose key parts, key weapons, key cogs were the younger ones, the sophomores and the juniors. I think they're making the announcement now of the offensive and defensive MVPs as they present the runner-up and state championship medals. So the attention being turned to midfield for the presentation of those awards. Yeah, that medal doesn't quite fit all the way around the head of the Wildcat. Put that one in the mouth. And the Longhorns getting their moments, as well as the presentation of the championship trophies are coming up. And so the defensive MVP of this state championship is Caden Crow, and what a game he had from his outside linebacker spot, Granger.
Yeah, he really did. He and you know, you could pick anybody from that. Juan Cabrera, Crow, you could get Riley Reed with his pickoff.
That's true.
But it was an overall team effort, and he's just as good a choice as anyone.
Yeah, Crow came in at 123 tackles, made several stops today, and then, of course, on the offensive side, there's no surprise at all that it was Riley Reed with what he did, even though he also had a pick six on the defensive side, but doing it on the offensive side was impressive.
Yeah, he really played well on both sides of the ball. He showed his speed. There was no match for him.
And so Riley Reed, only a sophomore, and he came into today's game with a little over 1,000 rushing yards, 274 receiving yards. He'd thrown it a couple of times. But like you had mentioned, this has been the sum of the parts for Mike Reed's ball club. A lot of different guys. Yes, there are guys like Striker Reed and Riley and some of the others to look at, but really several different key contributors is why this team was able to win this title today.
Balance, that's it, you know, and, you know, making sure everybody gets involved. You're not stuck in one formation or one set of plays. You've got to cover all six.
So now the trophy presentations are about to begin. Right here, here's the MVP presentations as Ray Cepeda, the athletic director of the University Interscholastic League, to make the presentation of the offensive and defensive MVPs. And there is Caden Crow, the defensive MVP. And you see what he did. 10 tackles in the ball game, 6 were solo, 1 behind the line, also hurried in on the quarterback. So that's your defensive most valuable player of this championship. And he was all around the ball.
Yeah, really, that ankle tackle was big there in the start of the second half on that third down play. Really shot the gaps well and produced some negative plays for Westbrook, which took them off program, as we talked about. They want to get the 4 or 5 yards and hope for a bigger play down the road, but they're happy to get the 5 yards 4 times in a row.
Now, after Caden Crow, walks with his plaque for defensive MVP, the offensive MVP, no surprise at all, Riley Reed. What a game he had.
Yeah, it was everywhere. It was receiving, it was rushing, it was the pick six, everything.
Yeah, and that's why he's not only the offensive MVP is voted on by the media, he's our jack-in-the-box player of the game for what he did on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, just a phenomenal game. That's this big run in the first half, the 74-yard touchdown run that really started to pull this away. Here's the pick six again, where he took it the distance, just everywhere. As we like to say, he was a menace.
That he was. Now the presentation of the trophies. First, the runner-up trophy. The 6A, six-man Division I finalist trophy. As the runner-up to Homer Matlock, certainly doesn't feel as good as the state titles of the past 2 years. But again, a stamp of his program. 3 straight years in the final round, 2 state titles, and now a runner-up finish.
Yeah, you know, Westbrook has had decent teams over time, but nothing great. You know, in the last 6 years since he's been there, just the growth and the program he's developed, it's just phenomenal.
And now the presentation of the state championship trophy to Mike Reed and the Gordon Longhorns. A lot of excitement out in Palo Pinto County. 3rd state title. See the players celebrating with it. And getting a chance to hoist that championship, that iconic state championship trophy. And Mike Reed just letting his guys do the celebrating there.
Yeah. You know, this is his 3rd state title, as I said before. He won 2 at Throckmorton. This is his 6th state title game appearance. 7th if you include his student teaching on the 99 team. But, you know, just a great time.
So, the celebration on the field. Gordon, the Longhorns, the 6-man 1A Division I state football champions for 2023. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
The UIL Football State Championships are brought to you by Jack in the Box, a proud sponsor of the UIL Championships. By Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas.
Well, you see the celebrations of the past. Well, it's the Gordon Longhorns who get to celebrate this year. The Longhorns defeat the Westbrook Wildcats, ending their reign as a 2-time state champion. So for Granger Huntress and our entire Valley Sports Southwest crew, I'm Craig Way. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations to the Gordon Longhorns. They win the 1A 6-man Division I state championship 70-20 over the Westbrook Wildcats.
I'm gonna be iconic.